I spent $2,000 of my real life money to max out farming in Hypixel Skyblock. Here's how we got here. So about 5 months ago, I noticed that booster cookies had started to skyrocket in value and were now selling for double or even triple the price that they had been during my pay to win series last year. And that got me thinking, with the Garden update just recently releasing and pay to win now being more powerful than ever, it was the perfect time to max out farming. But immediately I had a problem, because in order to use the best farming gear in the game, I would need to meet its skill requirement of farming level 40. And currently, I was farming level 21, which probably doesn't sound that bad until I tell you that that's only 3% of the way to farming 40. So I had some work to do. And for literally any other player, the only logical solution to getting your farming level up would be to start farming. But I'm not trying to play Skyblock normally. I'm trying to pay to win, which means that my goal is to remove as much grinding as possible from the game, no matter how much it costs. And that's where the Jerry boxes come in, because each purple Jerry box has roughly a 13% chance to reward you with 20,000 farming XP. And so, with it taking exactly 24.7 million XP to go from farming level 21 to farming level 40, I would just need to roll that 20,000 XP 1,235 times, which on average would take 9,500 purple Jerry boxes. And at the time of my recording, each purple Jerry box was costing roughly 500,000 coins. So I would only need to spend about 4.75 billion coins to get this done. So to start, I dropped $400 on Skyblock gems, using code RageTrain of course, maxed out my booster cookie sell limit for the day, and started buying some Jerry boxes. And I want to buy instantly. Let's just start with a stack. So one stack of purple Jerry boxes is 33 million coins, and we'll see how much farming skill XP this is going to get us. So yeah, let's just start opening these. So I can just click on these and immediately exit out. All right, and there is one stack down. I got 20,000 farming XP 11 times. So in one stack, I got 220,000 farming XP, which seemed to line up pretty well with the math that I had already done. And so with that, all that was left to do was open a ton of Jerry boxes. It didn't take long for me to realize, though, that the $400 I had already put in was not going to be nearly enough for this task. And so it was time to do a little more paying to win. And $400, honestly, do I really want to do this today? Not really, but it has to be done. So, of course, as always, guys, if you are going to be purchasing anything on the Hypixel store, please consider using code RageTrain. You save yourself 5% on whatever you're buying, and you also help support me and my terrible spending habits for this series. There we go. Almost 1.8 billion coins in the piggy bank. So yeah, that was about, what, like 1.2 billion coins from 400 bucks. So a million coins right now is about 33 cents compared to the 80 cents per million coins I was paying during the original pay to win series. That is ridiculous. But even though I had the coins now, a new issue had presented itself, because as I continued to drain the supply of these purple Jerry boxes on the bazaar, the price of the ones still remaining only continued to rise. Thankfully though, I was able to find a player who had invested into a large amount of Jerry boxes that was willing to sell off 2,000 of his purple ones to me at a much more reasonable price of about 530k per box. And so with yet another billion coins invested into these boxes, it was time to keep opening. And after a full hour of opening Jerry boxes and even another 800 million coins invested to buying some more off the bazaar, I had gotten all the way up to farming level 32, which once again sounds great until I tell you that that's still not even 50% of the way to farming 40. And so at this point, not only was I starting to regret just how expensive this project was becoming, but I also was getting pretty dang tired of watching the same menu open and close over and over on my screen for hours on end. But I had already sunk $800 into this stupid idea, so the sunk cost fallacy motivated me to push on. I did briefly set up a bunch of high tier melon minions with hyper catalyst on them to see if maybe I could get the farming XP that way, but after testing that out for a day, it quickly became apparent that that was just gonna take way too long. So I regretfully dumped another $300 into booster cookies. bringing my total spent on this project up to $1,100 already, and I hadn't even bought a single farming item yet. But then finally, after billions of coins spent and over 3 hours of opening Jerry boxes, I managed to hit farming level 40. And now it was time to move on to stage 2. And now, obviously, the once again simple solution to building some farms on Hypixel Skyblock would be to just watch some YouTube tutorials and build them yourself. But of course, that wouldn't really be in line with the pay-to-win profile, so instead, I decided to do the minimum work possible and then pay someone else to build them for me. Now, there are just 2 more things I need to get set up. The first thing I need to do is get these full 2 rows of plots here, that way someone can actually build the farms for me, which is going to require a decent bit of compost, but thankfully that can just be purchased on the bazaar here, so that's no worry at all for the pay-to-win profile. But I do need to hit garden level 5 before I can actually unlock all of these plots. And I will also eventually need to hit garden level 10 if I want to unlock every single crop, but I'm thinking it might make more sense to just go to level 5 for now, get the mega farm built, and then finish up the grind to level 10 and just like plant the rest of the crops myself. And so my plan to get to garden level 5 while doing the minimum work possible is to basically just AFK right here where the visitors show up every 15 minutes and just keep buying what they ask for off of the bazaar until I hit garden level 5. So let's see how long this takes.
Few moments later.
All right, I AFK'd for about an hour in game while I just did some other stuff. We have our 4 visitors here now, so let me see if I can just go ahead and buy all the materials I'll need to fill their request off of the bazaar here. And boom, there we go. All 4 visitors done. That got me up to garden level 3. Not quite as fast as I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought that right there would be enough to maybe get me to instantly level 5, but still not too bad. I'm about halfway to level 4, so I'll just keep AFKing and we should hit garden level 5 easily enough. All right, so I'm about 200 garden XP away from garden level 5 from just doing visitors, but I think in order to make this process a little bit faster, I'm just going to go ahead and pace down a wheat farm, because then I can just get a couple of the early wheat milestones that should push me over the edge to garden level 5. All right, the wheat hasn't even fully grown in yet here, but I'm just going to start mining it because I think these early crop milestones are like insanely easy to get. And there we go, wheat milestone level 6, and we hit the garden level up to level 5. So now I can finally unlock all 10 of these plots that I'm gonna need. So first, let me head over to the bazaar, and I'll just buy like 3 stacks of compost to start off, because I think we'll need at least that much. And then I'll just start unlocking all of these plots that I'm gonna need. And yeah, I already need more compost, so 3 stacks as a minimum was not wrong. There we go, that's row number 1 done. Now I gotta start getting this second row over here, and it is starting to get very expensive. 48 compost for just this plot here. Now this one up here is going to cost 128, and this final one is just 1 compost bundle. But 1 compost bundle is going to run me 5 million coins almost, so a bit on the pricey side, but still nothing compared to some of the things we have bought on this profile in the past. But there we go, that is all 2 rows of these plots unlocked, so we have everything we need to get those super farms set up. So it's time to invite the builder to my co-op and pay this man his fee so I don't have to do any of this work myself. Oh, and I did also already go ahead and add an IRL friend to my co-op, just in case our builder friend here decides to scam me. I assume he's not going to. He's my guild member on my main profile, but you know, I feel like in Skyblock you can never be too careful. So I'll go ahead and run the co-op add command one more time. And there we go. Dolkir has joined the Skyblock co-op, and now I will have a mega farm built for the garden that I won't have to do any work on at all. All right, and he is already on the garden and getting to work. So we are going to have my maxed out farming setup on the pay to win profile very soon after I have literally done like 0 farming basically. All right, it is just over 24 hours later, and literally he has already done all of the farms. They are fully built. I'm not going to lie, I was expecting to take a little bit longer than this, and it actually even took less than 24 hours. I'm just late to showing up to the finished product. He actually messaged me like 12 hours ago, I think, already that everything was done. So it was a very fast process, but now, of course, is the time to actually pay the guy, because I haven't paid him anything yet for it, and this wasn't free. That's not the point of the pay to win profile. And our agreed upon amount for this project was 750 million coins. Obviously a bit of an expensive thing to purchase here, but compared to some of the things we've done in the pay to win profile, honestly, not that bad. Compared to how much I had to spend to get farming level 40 from those Jerry boxes, it's pretty nice. And now it's time to gear up. All right, so currently the extent of my farming gear is this rookie hoe, and that's it. So I've got a lot of stuff that I need to buy. Of course, though, getting some Hypermax farming gear is going to be a bit expensive, and I only have about 165 million coins at the moment. So it's time to buy some gems with code RageTrain. And I've already done a little bit of math on how many coins I'm going to need for all this, and it gets pretty expensive. So I'm buying $400 worth of gems right now, which is of course going to also max out the amount of cookies I can sell for today. But even this much is probably going to end up not being enough, and I'm going to have to come back tomorrow and buy even more gems. And I have reached the daily limit with 3,000 gems left over though, so I didn't even really get to use my full $400, but it still got me up to about 1.5 billion coins, which is actually ridiculous because back in the day, like a year ago when I first started this pay to win profile, I think $400 would have only got me like 600 or 700 million coins. So yeah, that is pretty insane. And now I can, of course, go ahead and get back all the coins I had deposited into my bank as well, bringing us up to 1.65 billion. And then on top of that, even, I sold a couple of these Anubis Gold Dragon skins I have still held onto in my Ender chest for like a year now. And so after collecting those, we're now up to almost 1.9 billion. Anyways, though, let's get started buying this gear. And to start, I want a full set of Lotus equipment. So let's go down the list. Lotus bracelet, Lotus belt, Lotus necklace, and finally the Lotus cloak. Next up, we need 3/4 Fermento armor. So I will start with the helmet here. Then we need the chest plate, and then finally the leggings. And then of course, instead of Fermento boots, we're going to be getting a pair of Rancher boots here. So we'll go ahead and grab those. And just like that, my farming drip is already starting to look a lot better. But I still have a lot more things to purchase here. Starting with a level 100 elephant pet. And then of course the green bandana pet item for this elephant pet. And I will go ahead and put this on right away. There we go. And now next up, I want to get the highest tier of each farming tool, starting with the sugarcane hoe, then the potato hoe, then the carrot hoe, then the wheat hoe, which I think this one is going to be pretty expensive. Oof. Okay, yeah. 110 million. There we go, though. Then the wart hoe, then the cocoa chopper, then the melon dicer, then the pumpkin dicer, the cactus knife, and now you would think that the final tool I'm gonna need is the fungi cutter, but instead of the fungi cutter, I'm gonna be creating something a little bit more expensive. A Chimera 5 Daedalus axe. Because yes, for mushrooms in particular, a Chimera 5 Daedalus axe is the optimal tool. For literally every other crop, the specialty tools that we already bought is the best version you can get, but just for mushrooms, the Chimera 5 Daedalus axe is the best. Of course though, Chimera 5 is not cheap, and if I head over to the ultimate enchant section on the bazaar here, we're looking at 86 million coins per Chimera book, and I'm gonna need 16 to make a Chimera 5. Wow, okay, if this is actually the right price it's showing, I have just enough by like 4 million coins. Let's see. Okay, nice. It was actually a little bit cheaper. It cost just over 1.4 billion. But there we go, 16 Chimera 1 books. My god. Now I just need to go ahead and combine these all the way up to a Chimera 5, making sure to not mess this up because obviously each one of these books is very, very valuable. And there we go, Chimera 5. Holy, a 1.4 billion coin enchant right now. And now, of course, I need to go ahead and apply this thing to my Daedalus axe. Boom, there we go. Chimera 5 on my Daedalus axe. Oh my god. For farming mushrooms, mind you, not for any actual, like, important task. For farming mushrooms, but hey, I guess that's what this profile is all about. Anyways, though, there are still a couple more things I need to buy, but of course, after doing that, my purse is looking a little bit weaker, so I'm gonna need to get some more coins. And in order to do that, I'm gonna try and list 4 of these Anubis Golden Dragon skins and hope they sell by tomorrow. tomorrow, but if not, I'll have to just go ahead and invest like another 100 or 200 bucks into this account tomorrow.
One eternity later.
All right, I waited a couple days to give those golden dragon skins some time to sell. Unfortunately, only one of the 4 that I listed actually sold, so we will get our 84 million coins here, which is nice, but unfortunately that is not going to be enough to cover everything else I still need to buy. So it looks like I'm going to be making another $100 investment using Code Rage Trade. And there we go. Just like that, I'm back up to 624 million coins in my purse, which I am just hoping is going to be enough for me to finish everything up here that I need to buy, because I feel like I've already spent enough money on this video. Anyways, though, one thing I definitely want to get here is the Fermento artifact, which actually shouldn't be too expensive. Yeah, only about 35 million coins here, and that gives me just a straight up bonus 30 farming fortune, so should be super nice. And next thing I want to do is head into the Hex here and just go ahead and make sure all these tools I purchased off the auction house are maxed out to at least a reasonable extent. So for example, I'm going to make sure every single one of these tools has at least dedication 3 on it, but I am not going to be putting dedication 4 on all of them, because that would literally cost like over 1 billion coins, which I just don't think is worth it for this profile. And of course, got to make sure I get 5 farming for dummies on every tool as well. And I'm also going to be putting the golden ball reforge of Bountiful on all of these tools, because that is going to max my coins per hour, which is kind of what I care about for this experiment. All right, and that should be it for maxing all of the tools. That actually was not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. I still have over 400 mil, but I know for a fact the next thing I'm going to buy here is going to be a bit more expensive, because I need 4 overgrown grasses for my armor. And as you'll see here, each one of these is going to run me over 70 million coins. So, yeah, this is about to hurt. But it's got to be done, so here we go. Boom. 286 million coins for those 4. My goodness. And yeah, that one hit the purse much harder. I'm now down to only 150 mil. And none of these pieces are recommed, so we're gonna have to go ahead and apply that as well to everything. And there we go. Fully recommed, mossy on everything. This is a goated farming armor set now. And now one last thing to max out is gonna be all my equipment pieces as well. And we want to get the rooted enchant on every piece of equipment here, and of course recom it as well. All right, and now the very last thing I need to do is go to the Crimson Isle, and then all I have to do is go to these exportable carrots here and turn in 3,000 of them to this Carolyn NPC. So I just got to get another 1,500, and there we go. That has now granted me a bonus 12 farming fortune, which honestly is not bad at all. I take that. But now that has brought me down to only 13 million coins left, so I have definitely made use of that other $100 I spent today. We needed that. And so with that, I am now just about ready to finally test out this pay-to-win farming setup. But one last thing I have to do is actually hit garden level 10 so that I can unlock the last 5 crops I'm still missing. So we unfortunately have to do a little bit of grinding. There is no way to avoid this one. Hopefully though, since I have some really OP gear here, it won't take very long, but yeah, let me get to work on that real quick. All right, and finally, at long last, every crop is unlocked, every crop is planted, and it is finally time now to test out this pay-to-win setup. And the first crop we're testing is sugarcane. And I do want to go ahead and turn on this farming fortune display from the Sky Honey mod, because that will show my actual farming fortune for each crop. So for sugarcane, you can see I have 1,119 farming fortune. And now I just get my angle set perfectly, and we farm for the next 5 minutes. All right, and there we go. 5 minutes is up, and in that time, I managed to get 930 enchanted sugar and actually also 1 fermento, which I can go ahead and sell to the bazaar right now for a total of 815,000 coins. Which, if I could keep those rates for an entire hour, that would be just under 10 million coins an hour from sugarcane. And obviously, it'll be insanely boring if I go this slowly through every single crop, so let me just speed run the next 8 for you. For potatoes, I was getting 1,116 farming fortune and could make about 8.3 million coins per hour. For carrots, I was getting 1,111 farming fortune and could make just over 8 million coins per hour. For wheat, I was getting getting 1,117 farming fortune and could make just over 8.3 million coins per hour. For Netherward, I was getting 1,132 farming fortune and could make over 10.7 million coins per hour. So yeah, Netherwart was pretty good for me. Cactus, on the other hand, was not quite as good, with me only being able to get 976 farming fortune and only being able to make about 7.3 million coins per hour. Melon was also a huge disappointment for me. Maybe I just messed my test up or something, but anyways, I was able to get 962 farming fortune, but could only make just about 7.5 million coins per hour. Pumpkin, on the other hand, though, was literally insane, with me getting 971 farming fortune, but being able to make 11.4 million coins per hour. I honestly may have just gotten lucky with the number of squash I dropped, but still, those are some ridiculous test results. And finally, before I go test mushrooms with my Chimera 5 Daedalus axe from Cocoa Beans, I was able to get 953 farming fortune and could make about 9.4 million coins per hour. And now it's time to put the big one to the test, all right? This like 1.5 billion coin Daedalus axe I bought just to farm mushrooms. It's time to see how good this thing is. But I don't feel like it would be a fair comparison to just be comparing this thing to all the other crops I just farmed, because mushrooms are probably just not the best crop to farm no matter what. So instead, I actually want to do 2 mushroom tests and do one with the Chimera 5 Daedalus axe and then one with just the regular mushroom fungi cutter. But the cheapest maxed out fungi cutter right now is 15 million coins, and I literally only have 6 million coins left to my name. We have used everything else I have. Literally, even my 1 billion coin G-Drag bank is totally emptied, so I gotta do some paying to win. But for literally the first time ever, I think, in the history of this profile, I'm going to only be adding $5 worth of Skyblock gems. I'm pretty sure literally every other time in the history of this profile, I've added at least $100 just because you get a little bit of a better value if you do. But since I've already spent like $2,000 on this video, I figured we could do a smaller amount for once. Anyways, let's grab this fungi cutter here for 15 mil. Still honestly seems pretty expensive for a fungi cutter, but hey, it's for the sake of the test. And this one is maxed out pretty nicely, so it's not the worst. Oh, and I almost totally forgot to mention, I did also buy a mushroom cow with a green bandana on it solely for the mushroom test. So I do have that equipped now as well instead of the elephant. But without further ado, let's get testing. All right, and that is 10 minutes up right there. I'm doing a little bit longer for these just to make sure I get as accurate results as possible. So in those 10 minutes, all the mushroom I got is worth 1.3 million coins. So over the course of a full hour, I'd make about 8 million coins using the fungi cutter. So now, of course, we have the baseline and we can actually test the Chimera 5 axe now and see how much better it is. And I mean, according to Skyhoney, it's saying my farming fortune is 1,126 with this thing, which would obviously be way better, but let's test it. All right, and that is 10 minutes with the Chimera 5 axe. I did drop a Fermento this time, which obviously I didn't the first time. So for now, I'm going to put that away in a backpack just to see the results without including that in. So let's open up the bazaar here. 1,503,000, which over the course of a full hour would be just over 9 million coins. So that would be an improvement of about 1 million coins per hour. Not the best for a 1.5 billion coin investment, but I guess this thing does technically have other uses as well. Just for fun though, if I do include the Fermento in as well, we get bumped up to 1,750,000 coins, which would be 10.5 million coins per hour. So if we take these numbers, it actually is an insane improvement, but I'm pretty sure that the Chimera 5 axe is not what helped me get that Fermento. I think that just means that I had better RNG using this thing than I did with the fungi cutter. But yeah, there we go. For the 0 other people out there who have been considering spending $2,000 to pay to win farming in Hypixel Skyblock, I guess these are the results that you can expect to get. Yeah, anyways, if you have any more stupid ideas for me to try out on this profile, you can join my Discord, discord.gg/ragetrain, and put them in the pay to win series channel. And if it's a really good idea that I end up using, I'll reward you with some gems. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys the next time I decide to make a terrible financial decision.